All right, so staying with that theme of corporate ingenuity, we thought it'd be appropriate to bring on stage one of the larger Israeli corporations. GE obviously is a big multinational American, but we thought, why not counterbalance that with a large multinational Israeli company? With that, Yadlin, CEO.
Thank you.
Hadera paper, excuse me, sorry.
Is the controller?
It's right up here.
Hello, I'm Guy. Thank you, Land Marketing, for letting me be here with you today. All the people before me, and I think after me, will talk about applications and technology. And I'll be a bit new to you guys because I'm talking about manufacturing. How many of you guys are using iPhone, iPads, etc.? I guess all of you. I knew that. I'm using that as well. You think it's influence actually the paper industry? Absolutely. Absolutely it did. Yet, I want to tell you a short story. You know, back in the 18th century, when they made up the electricity, the candle manufacturers had a committee, urgent committee, in England, how to stop electricity in order to not harm their business of candles. Yet, I think there is a lot of space for paper yet. I think that great things actually still begins with a piece of paper. You cannot replace a piece of paper when you write a poem or when you write a draft, even when you start a presentation. When you say some warm words to your beloved, I can recognize my father's signature out of thousands of handwriting that you will give me, or my wife's. And the paper is here to stay. You remember that there was, back in the 80s, there was a song that would say, radio did not kill the radio star, or radio, remember that song? Well, video did not kill the radio star. The video is gone, radio is here to stay. I think paper is here to stay, and we are innovating paper. While over the years, the print industry has evolved dramatically. You can print everything today, not only paper. For the past 5,000 years, paper is still produced out of trees. Turning trees into paper is one of the most polluting industries in the world. Just a few examples that you can see here in the draft. We need 75,000 trees in order to make the weekly Time New Yorker for the weekend. 75,000 trees. This is a huge amount. For 1 kilogram of paper, we need 334 liters of water. It's time for a change. And if a change is coming from Israel, obviously, to reduce the natural resources of consumptions, to reduce energy use, to reduce water pollution. The answer seems simple. Why don't we all move to 100% recycled paper? Our statement could be with paper 100% recycled. Our draft, our blocks, our newspapers, everything. Well, what's the great idea about it? What's new? If you guys are an American and go to a staple shop, you'll be able to see those things. They are selling 100% recycled paper. But let me tell you a little secret about what has been manufacturing today in this industry. It costs double, by the way. And the reason for that is it is the most unenvironmental process to do when you recycle paper this way. I'm going to propose something else. Because the process has to go through the inking, using chemicals, using a lot of water, and then you make a pulp, recycled pulp, and then you have to manufacture a paper out of it. This process costs a lot of money, and yet it's not environmental. Let me tell you about the company that I represent, Hadera Paper, that thought that it could make a really change in the paper industry forever. Some facts about my company. We're actually a big manufacturer. Started back in the 50s by American Jewish people that went to have a picture in my office of Golda Meir with a few people that were the first machine, the first mill in Hadera, and yet it's a very, very traditional, innovative. But you saw that all of you guys hands up when I said about how many of us using iPods and iPhones and etc. Well, we have 3 billion shekels 3,000 employees, and we are entrepreneurs in our field. Yet, when Theodor Herzl thought of us when he established the Jewish state, we don't have much of resources, no rivers, no trees. We cannot afford ourselves to pollute, and we have to import all of the pulp that's made out of trees overseas, from America, from Europe. The logistic costs are high, and it's very hard to compete. And as you all know very well, our neighborhood is not so friendly. We cannot market to our neighbors, so if we have to market out, it has to go out outsourcing to a very high-cost logistics options. But most of us here are Israelis or Jews, and you know, whenever we are in trouble, we are sharper, and the troubles make us to think and to reinvent ourselves. So as history taught us, the necessity is the mother of all invention. So this is what happened to us. We start thinking as a startup. Although we have a very big manufacturer, our paper became a paper startup. And we thought, how can we change? How can we change this process that will make sense, that we can make money, we can survive, and we can be very relevant to the industry, not only the Israeli one. So in order to compete effectively, we had to reinvent our business and our production process. If you go from right to left, you see the process of making papers. You have to plant it, put some water in it, then it grows to trees, then you have to cut it, and then you have to ship it. The transportation is usually with ships, going all over the seas, overseas, and then it comes to the mill, and then you make a paper out of it. What we had in mind is how to cut this process. We cut it in half. We don't buy trees, you don't have to cut them, you don't have to ship them, you don't have to ship them to Israel. By using one circle, our own process, locally in Israel, by throwing the paper into the cans, we collect it, we get it back to our mill, make a paper out of it, and so we have created the first holistic model. It's a circular economy in the paper industry. It's the first in the world. We have a world patent on it, gentlemen. A world Israeli patent on this process. Nobody has done it in the world. Guys, it's exciting. It's Israeli. What's the new process? It's so exciting for me, I guess, so I'll try to convince you. The benefits are no bleaching, no chemicals at all. It has a cleaner effluent. It's a reduction of energy and carbon footprints. The one that use it, these carbon footprints are in the sky. It's reduction of transportation. It's all local. And of course, it's integrated effluent with water to production process. And it's very, very environmental friendly. And the last thing, but not least, you can use it 7 or 8 times again and again and again. So it makes sense, will you throw your paper into the can, we'll collect it back, and you might find it as well as a new paper in your office. Simply put, we have created the world's truly first 100% recycled paper. We call it Repaper. It's in the market of Israel at the moment. We started shipping it. This is 100% truly recycled paper, the first in the world. It's a premium look and feel for all printing and writing needs. If you guys had registered it and you got this notebook from Landmark, we produced it specially for this event. It's made of it's the first edition of a real 100% recycled notebook that you are using. So write good and nice things to your beloved in this notebook. And we also did some finished goods. We have beautiful notebooks. You can see some samples, and you can look at our website. For the first time, you have actually 0 excuses not to be 100% ecologically friendly. Repaper holds great value for your business. It's eco-friendly, it's injected values, it's educating, it's protecting the environment, and it's keeping printing prices the same as before. This is some sample for American Express statement. This is the white regular version, and on the other side you can see 100% recycled version. When we get a statement to our houses and we read it, it's just data, just information. When you get it on 100 recycled paper, and if there are bankers here or corporates, When you get it and send some draft with 100% recycled paper, you get a value. The things you're writing is getting a meaning. Nobody cares on what kind of paper you write it. When you write it on 100% recycled paper, it has a value. Your data has a value. That's why we think that the statesman should convert envelopes, blocks, whatever. And we're looking for partners. Hadera, and I'm here for that. Hadera Paper is looking for partnership in the United States. I hope that I've excited you as well as I'm excited. I'm looking for partners in the United States. We have a 20 million shekels, 20 million shekels business here in the United States. We want to make it bigger. We want to do it with 100% recycled paper with you guys. I'm here. Any question, if you need anything, I'm looking for partners. Thank you very much for having me here.